Hey, hello. Oh, hey, hi, kids. I'm sorry about that. Welcome to Missoula. So good. Oh my, it's magic. So good that you're all here. Just a second. Let the doctor. Let Jay inspect. I touched it. It came on. Magic. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I won't touch it. Welcome to the Missoula. So please rise and join with Dean Pond and the Missoula City Band, our national anthem. Dean. Just to allay your fears, Pat Floyd, I've got your car keys and your cute little turquoise dingle ball, and if you don't come up and get it, I bet you've got a newer car than I do. Oh, there we go. No identification necessary. Dang, I was hoping for, with the price of used cars going on right now, boy, I was going to make a trade. Our band chaplain and newly retired grief counselor saw a birthday going on while we were getting ready for our concert, and he suggested to the family, if you stayed around long enough, we'll play Happy Birthday for the kids' party. Hey, Shay, are you still here? Oh Lord, all I hear is.
Right over there.
Okay, back there. All I can hear is the water tenders. Welcome to fire season. Hey, happy birthday, Shane. Anybody else's birthday this week? Uh-oh. I see Jay is making some inroads here with the technology. Hey, I found out there's a secret key over there at the splash pond. All right? So they eventually turns off. But if you get over there and it's not running, see that yellow stanchion about 4 foot high? You wave over it like a freaking magic wand and the water comes on. All right? Tell them I told you so, okay? I spent some time over there this week in between tuba sets. Deb suggested that I might talk more than usual tonight. That's hard to imagine. But it's a historical evening, and it's just so much fun to be able to share with you, and I hope that you find it likewise. I've got a couple of resources. Stan Cohen. Did Stan happen to make it here tonight? Stan, are you here? We had to look out for... By the rock. shit, and I'm blind. Hey, Stan. Oh, there you are, buddy. So good to have you here. And if you want to, anytime this evening, you can pull a Mr. Gisselbeck. You walk right up. Pretty good, huh? You can walk right up here, and I'd love for you to share a story about this event with the group if you wanted to. The door's open, Stan, because I've got Stan's book here. As a matter of fact, it's on sale in your local bookstores. And it's his latest, A Journey Through Missoula History. And then, of course, our history of the city band right here. Thank you, Mom. In researching the city band and such, I came upon, I'm not a Missoulian, so I didn't know this, the history, and it's so cool. Now I've taken on, and today on social media, I even claimed that this was the biggest event ever to happen in Montana, yet alone Missoula. I'm getting ready for some historian to call me out on that. All right. The projected number of folks here in town were 40,000, which was several times more than the total population of the county. And that's when the county included the Bitterroot, you know. It was much, I'm thinking, hold on, what about that fight in Shelby all those years ago? Now, at the most, they sold 13,000 tickets. No, they sold 7,000 tickets and 13,000 people stole in. So 20,000 at the most, not half of what was happening here. It was a big deal. President Roosevelt had already served 2 terms. He made the mistake of saying that this was going to be his last term, though at that time there were no term limits for the presidency. He made public that he wasn't going to go for a 3rd term. We all wish he had. Some doofus came in after him. Thank you. I'll make a couple. I can get political when it's 100 years ago, and then he decided, oh my God, the company's going to hell in a handbasket. I've got to get back in there and fix things. So he started his own party, the Bull Moose Party. And before the election season came about, he started stumping all over the world, all over the country. Got on a train and stopped at 6 o'clock in the morning right here down at our depot, and surprised them. He wasn't quite sure what time or when it was going to be. He was still in his bedclothes when the train stopped, and he got off. The band led the parade, and it wasn't, it was a huge parade, but it only went from the depot to the Florence Hotel. Now that's the kind of parade I want to march in. His day was full of speeches and such, but in the evening time is when the important thing came. This concert happened at that wonderful hotel that still graces our city. And I'll share with you the menu and the toasts and the music that our city band played for then President Roosevelt on this historic night in 1911. It started off with Under the Stars and Stripes. You'll be surprised. Yep. Not the Under the Stars and Stripes that you were thinking of, eh? Pretty clever setup on my part. Written, let's see, Sousa wrote his in 1896. He wrote this in 1904. Lordy, for 8 years. Now the good thing is that he didn't steal any of Sousa's licks, because it had already become quite popular. But you know, it takes Sousa a long time to get all around the country several times, and it's not the official march of the United States until 40s, 50s, or something like that. So it wasn't quite the famous march that we know it of. So he just stole part of the title. It's called Under the Stars and Stripes. On the menu that evening, for the wonderful occasion, it was listed the Stars and Stripes March. Well, but then it gave this name, Lucy. Yeah, well, I'm thinking maybe he did an arrangement of the Stars and Stripes. Just that many years, so nope. I finally looked, they left out under in the title. Was able to find it and borrowed it, and here we are. That was Under the Stars and Stripes. A few things about Mr. Losi. Lived from 1870 to 1931. Born Rochester. Tried to play trumpet but couldn't hack it, and he transferred to trombone. I didn't make that up, all right, just so you know. And even though I've done only a few of his things, good Lord, he wrote 400 original compositions and 2,500 arrangements, so the guy got around. And at the same time, he was on the staff of the world's largest music publisher, Carl Fisher, at the same time that our own Sophronic was under contract with those folks. All right, next after this lovely march comes the meat, and we figure it's probably when they brought out the main menu. No. We figured out with the waltz. There you go. So the folks started with the martini. We're thinking that the concert and the meal carried on simultaneously. That the band was accompanying the meal. They started off with a martini, and then with celery and blue points on a half shell, and consomme in a cup with olives and salted almonds. Pretty nice, huh? Now there's someone, I wonder if the family is here. If you see someone with a wonderful meal, are you folks here? Moriah? If she is, she's hiding. Because she came up to me after Monday's rehearsal and asked for a menu. Well, I often refer to our order of tunes as a menu. And several times she reiterated the menu and went, it'll be on the Facebook, you know. And she said, no, the food. She didn't say dummy, but she meant dummy. And they took a picture, and took a camera out and took a picture of the real menu that I found because of Stan Cohen. And we're going to have the meal. Maybe at home. I was hoping it was going to be here during the gig because I've got a fork in my briefcase. Here is... Everyone knows it. It's a staple of this band for years. You'll hear the horse galloping. It was his most popular tune. He was born in Vienna in 1866. Everyone, their dog knows it, but most of us know it because of Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers cartoons. Here is Soupé's Light Cavalry Overture. Oh, watch out for your wallets because the ladies are coming out to pickpocket you. We appreciate your support. And the city does give us a pittance every year. We appreciate that. They let me park the trailer back here for another 2 days. Just 2 more days. On the menu were a number of toasts, and I suspect they took a toast in between courses because there were almost 10 toasts. And even though I can tip a bottle, after about 3 or 4, I've had enough at one sitting. So I imagine they were taking toasts all along, as led by our Senator Dixon. This is the main course, planked whitefish, and a waltz that will linger in your ears and in time. This gentleman, Paul Leakey, a German composer, father of the German Berlin operetta, lived from 1866 to 1946. You'll recognize it if indeed you're old enough to remember going to the circus and watching the trapeze act, or maybe you saw it on Ed Sullivan. His most famous composition, besides this lovely Forever Waltz, is Glowworm. Glow, little glowworm, glimmer, glimmer, Daddy wrote that song. I'll stop singing. And he also, he didn't know it, but the music, the wedding dance, was used in the movie The Titanic. So if you go back and watch that lovely music, that movie, that's his music during the wedding, just before everything goes to hell. Here is Spring, Beautiful Spring. Dig down deep and dig down often. Thank you.
Did you guys still play over the playground? Did you do that?
Usually it takes a couple of tunes for the
Would that be all right?
for the collectors to get around. We could have given you more time. After rehearsal, we had a secret ballot and decided to do all second endings on that particular composition. That was half as long as what it was intended, and half as long as it took on rehearsal. I about had a mutiny on my hands. A little waltz goes a long way now, not so much 100 years ago. Hey, speaking of 100 years ago, I'm so glad to see our friends in the village here. Where are you, village folks? My folks, there we are! Hot dang, the first ones that come out and to be with us. We're all vaccinated. We're so glad that you're here. I've been over there shopping for quite some time. Hey, possibly this was the time that maybe Arthur Stone rose. Arthur Stone was the head of the journalism department at the University of Montana and collected all those wonderful pieces. If you read his book, he rose and toasted Roosevelt and the press, the free press. Thank you, Arthur Stone. If you haven't read his book yet, it's wonderful reading. Okay, back to the menu. Carmelita Select Vintage. Wait, Carmelita Select Vintage. So I'm thinking of drinking wine at the same time. Now they have out braised sweetbreads with boy, that'd be braised in a lot of butter and Broward potatoes and French peas. All right, that's on the menu. We're being served right now. And we'll accompany that with selections of Victor Herbert. He, along with the previous gentleman, Linke, over in Germany, began musical theater. Opera was a little too stuffy for most of us. And they began to write operettas. And it became very, very popular. Gilbert and Sullivan were the most popular ones in England. They just like to go fast. Here in America, Victor Herbert took it over, and his most famous one is Babes in Toyland. Many of us know. This is another, and we're playing two of his works tonight from the program. Here are selections from, and use your own imagination, kids. It's a funny story. Oh wait, I'm one off, aren't I? Okay, I had the wrong score in my hand, but the right one on my head. Here is, use your own imagination because the story is really weird. Here is selections from The Tattooed Man.
Great. Who's family? Thank you. This is family I met this summer. Congrats.
And now for something familiar on the program. Oh, gee, did I say something? Familiar to our programming, always, is a patrol. And a patrol is a particular kind of march that you hear the troops coming, and then here, and then you see them off. This is Our American Patrol, written by Tim Pan Alley composer F.W. Meacham from Brooklyn, New York. Here's the American Patrol. The troops are moving off. The menu goes on with broiled Philadelphia squab, a croissant, lettuce with fresh tomatoes and mayonnaise. As we pull up the Red Mill, this is another of the musicals that everyone in the audience would have been singing and tapping along. Like if I played Sound of Music for you now, these selections were that popular then. Here are selections from the Red Mill, also by Victor Herbert. Of New York. Well, just to take a detour to the present. Thanks to so many of you that came out and enjoyed our tuba concert on Sunday. Thanks for bearing with the foul weather, the smoke, and the heat. It was worthy and a wonderful time, and we'd never get a crowd like that anywhere else we go. And it's thanks to Missoula City Band audiences. Bless you folks. You make us look awful good. All right. American ice cream and assorted cakes, imperial camembert cheese with toasted water crackers, and then whatever this is, mums, M-U-M-M''S, champagne, the champagne. Oh, I'm a retired teacher. I'm a PBR guy. Cafe Noir and cigars. Led by a toast from Theodore Roosevelt himself, entitled Roosevelt in Missoula. We will end this evening's concert as conducted by Gustav. Oh boy, lost his first name now. No, his last name. Gustav, who's the city band conductor in 1911. No, not Holtz. I often just repeat what I hear behind me. And someone says Holtz. Gustav Holtz is like one of our godfathers of the band world. No. Oh, shoot, brain fart. Anyway, you can look it up in my book, our book. He was the band conductor. We had just stolen him from Anaconda. Pretty sweet on our part. And we shared his salary with the University of Montana so we could afford him. Gustav Fisher. Doggone, a senior moment that came to me. He was a... Hey, for all you know, I could be faking it. Buy the book. I could still make you a case discount on the books. We had just stolen this fine conductor, and in the midst of everything else he was doing, leading the city band through all these times, he also, even though I haven't convinced the symphony into it yet, he founded the Missoula Symphony Orchestra, or the beginnings of it back in the 20s. Here is our final number. Thanks for coming out and celebrating Theodore Roosevelt's concert at our wonderful indoor venue here, still open to you. Stop by sometime and make a toast. Here is The Conqueror March by Corey. so much for coming along with us and for the band for coming along with me. Hey, see you next week. Oh yeah, it's a wonderful concert next week, whatever it happens to be. We'll see you 8 o'clock next week. Whoa, you don't miss it, because next week is Sweet Adelines and Pie.